Assalamu alaikum listeners, and welcome back to another edition of the Future Show here on Inspire FM. I'm your host Amr Azam. We are lucky enough to be joined for this Luton Sixth Form College special by Rafaqat Ali, Student Achievement Coordinator, Anisa Akhtar, Admissions PR and Digital Communications Coordinator, as well as three academic improvement mentors, Junaid Ahmed, Jay Patel and Lavsant Lingeswaran. As ever, if you want to get in touch, please email us at futures@inspirefm.org. I want to direct my first question to you, Ali, and it's a pleasure to have you on the show. We've known each other for a good many years, and we've worked together on projects. But this program is the road to greatness, and very much it's a nod to Luton Sixth Form College, and in particular Altaf Hussain, the principal, who very much has driven forward the Greatness by 2022, the agenda, the targets, the aspirations of the college. And I've been as you know, I've been a governor at the college up until recently. I was for nearly 8 years, and very much I was part of sharing that vision, and it's aspirational, but at the same time it's very, very achievable. So the purpose really of this discussion is just for you to showcase the opportunities that lie at the college for young people listening in, those young people that are going to be joining the college in September, but also at the same time, the students that are already there. So tell us who we've got on the line and the role of the A mentor.
Yeah, it's good to finally get on your program and connect with you after years of working on different projects in the community and football related, community related. It's excellent. It's great to be with you. Unfortunately, because of COVID and that, it's still a little bit social distance, but inshallah, we'll get closer soon. It's very apt that you started by mentioning Altaf's goal about vision greatness by 2022. A lot of people will think, wow, that's a big goal, but it's very much in line with what we want our students to do. We expect our students to be very aspirational and set goals and set the bar really high. And I know you're a big advocate of young people in Luton setting the bar really high with the work that you do with the schools and what you do with your STEM organization and what you've done with your reading program. And I think Altaf just kind of follows on with that, setting the aspirations really high, not just for the students, but also for us as an organization. If we want our students to have high goals and ambitions, then like you said, there's no reason why we shouldn't set as an organization a goal as high as being, an outstanding great college by 2022. And I totally agree with what you said. It is achievable. And I think the benefit of a college reaching greatness by 2022 will be the community of Luton will benefit greatly from it, more than anybody else. I know we as members of staff will probably get a day off for being fantastic and great, but more importantly, the young people of Luton will really benefit. And if that happens, it'll be a fantastic day. In terms of my role, so I'm the Student Achievements Coordinator. So I kind of mostly look after the STEM students, anything to do with A-level biology, chemistry, physics, and A-level maths. And what we have is three really confident young men who only 6 months ago were students of the college. It's something that, again, Altaf, it's a bit of a visionary Altaf, kind of a little bit annoying at times. But, I remember sitting down with Altaf years ago, and we said, you know what, why don't we get our students who are outstanding, who get A's and A stars, and they take a gap year, why don't we pay them to come and work here? It was kind of a novel idea at that time. It's like, okay, you're going to pay them, and what they're going to come and do? Well, they're going to come and academically support the students. But what sense does that make? Well, actually quite a lot, because I'm a tutor, and I'm sure you know many tutors across Luton. But the thing is, I think the best person to tutor you is someone who just sat the exam 6 months ago. It's a bit of a no-brainer, really, when you think about it. I think the last time I looked at, a syllabus was, I did my exams in the 70s. A lot has changed since then. So the idea of getting aims, we call them academic improvement mentors. So effectively, they're young people who, for whatever reason, have decided not to go to university. Some of them want to take a gap year. Some of them want to hone their soft skills, which I'll talk a lot more about later on. So today, we've got Junaid, who's one of our physics, biology, and chemistry aim. We've got Love Sant, who's one of our physics aims. And we've got Jay, who's our further maths, which is quite a niche subject, and maths aim. And it's excellent because the three of them also highlight the diversity of the college. We've got a Kashmiri Pakistani, got a Sri Lankan, we've got an Indian, Gujarati. So I think it kind of sums up the college. So this was a vision that me and Altaf set many years ago. And we decided, let's get academic improvement mentors, students who are going to take a gap year, but the condition is they have to have done exceptionally well in their exams. Because I don't think you want someone of my caliber trying to tutor your child physics when I haven't got such a high grade in physics. So we got them in, and effectively they support the kids. I mean, I'll talk a lot more about their day-to-day and what they do, but these are the young men, and we have 8 of them actually, but obviously being half term in that. These 3 young men, but we have 4 absolutely outstanding young ladies. I don't want anyone to think it's just male dominated. We have 4 outstanding young ladies who, you know what, the confidence that oozes from them at that age. At that age, I was afraid to speak to elders in a very confident manner. But these guys they're exceptional, and by working at sixth form and engaging with not only their peers, but also adults who are like 40, 50 years older than them, their confidence and soft skills they've really grown, Amma, really grown.
Ali, that's really heartfelt, and it's really, really heartwarming as well to hear your words, because it's very much about those shared values, and having young people from our town contributing towards the development of young people that were in the position they were just 2 or 3 years previously is it fits so well, and it's such an important part of the vision. We'll come back to our aims, our academic improvement mentors in a short while. But I just want to bring in Anissa. Anissa, your admissions, PR, and digital comms. I've always said in the past, I think that job title is way too long, but I suppose it's kind of reflects the breadth of what you do. But just tell us a little bit about your view on greatness by 2022, and in particular what it means for you in your role, because as Ali describes, it's just about, I suppose, doing things that little bit better everywhere, all over the college. It's very much the theory of sort of marginal gains and making sure everything is done that little bit better. So what does greatness by 2022 mean to you, Anissa?
Okay, well, hi, Amma, and thanks for having us on again. So greatness by 2022, I mean, this is a term that's been coined across our social media platform about the past year now, well, since I've been looking after it anyway. So Altaf quite recently mentioned this. Well, this is in our strategic plan, really. This has been in place since Altaf came into post. And more recently, in our staff briefing a couple of days ago, we've kind of really pushed on this now. So Altaf has launched our new Vespa campaign. Now, this is another term that's going to be heard all across town very soon once we officially launch it. Now, Vespa is what the college is working towards. That stands for vision, effort, systems, practice, and attitude. So this is what we are working towards as a college, like Ali mentioned earlier. And in terms of greatness, I think you said it yourself. I think it's the little things that all of us can do. We talk about greatness, but honestly, as a college, we're not very far off. It's the little tweaks here and there that we all can do together, students, staff, as a whole college community, to get there. We're a pretty great college as it is. So, and I'm saying that from a very biased perspective, obviously, but I think we're pretty great. So getting to greatness isn't going to be a hard job for us. All it needs is, like I said, the little tweaks. And for me and my role in particular, from an admissions perspective, it's showcasing the great aspects of our college to our prospective students and their families, and showcasing greatness in the community and why Luton Sixth Form is a great college. From a PR social media perspective as well, it's all community based, and it's sharing that message of why Luton Sixth Form is a great place to study and at the same time to work. So I think that in a nutshell, greatness overall in the college is how we see it, really.
I want to thank you for that, Anissa. I want to hear from the some of the aims on the call, because the academic improvement mentors are very much part of this vision, this aspiration of greatness by 2022. And so what I'll do is I'll direct my first question to Junaid. Hopefully, Junaid, you've been listening to all of that, and you've really had I really want to hear from yourself about how. My first question, I suppose, is what did you do at college? What did you study, and how did you become an academic improvement mentor?
So in college, I studied biology, chemistry, physics, and maths, and I just became an academic improvement mentor because I wanted to take the year out before going to university. And for myself, it was just because I wasn't sure about what I wanted to do at university. And I'm really glad that I did, because it's been like a great chance to improve my skills and my abilities to work well with the students and like help them to improve and like see them grow through the year, as well as to just work as a part of a team with other people my age. And definitely working together has really helped us to help the students to achieve like the best they can. And I think that obviously, as far as greatness for the college, the most important aspect is the students achieving like their greatness and putting them in the best position for going forward into their future.
Junaid, brilliant answer. Just another question: which school did you come from, and how did you do at your A levels at the college? It's just the reason why I ask is because there are people going to be listening to this show that will be very much following in your footsteps. So they will be going through the Luton school system, will be coming from the high school that you did. So which school did you come from, and what was your experience like of GCSEs and going on to A levels?
So for college, I came to Luton Sixth Form, but as far as high school, I came from Choney Boys. And in GCSEs, I done pretty well, and the same with the A levels as well. For biology, chemistry, physics, and maths, I got 3 A's and I got a B in chemistry. But those were the grades that were given. But then I resat chemistry and got that up to an A as well. So it's 4 A's at the moment.
Brilliant, Junaid. Thank you for that. I'm going to move on to Jay. Jay, are you there?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
Tell us about your own journey. So, which school did you come from, and what was how did you do in your GCSEs or A levels?
So I came from Icknield High School. I did okay at Icknield. I got the grades I wanted in the subjects I was good at. Then I went to Luton Sixth Form College as well. There I studied. Here I studied further maths, and history. For my grades, I got an A star in maths, A in further maths, and a B in history. I really enjoyed it at sixth form because I could like focus on the subjects I really enjoyed, and like it helped me like really specify what I wanted to do moving forward. So I found that really helpful. And then I decided to become an AIM just because I needed the time to take out to know what I wanted to take at uni.
What's the experience been like for because there'll also be your fellow students that are sort of halfway through their college education, and there'll be prospective aims in the future. So what's been the experience like?
It's been great, really. Same things that Junaid said. You get to work with a bunch of people your age, so you feel very comfortable. A lot of people, this is their first job. And often I found it really helpful that I was in the same position as a lot of other people, the 8 of us that worked together. I also found like it made me better at my subjects. Having to teach people the subject that you already know makes you realize your gaps in your knowledge and helps you sort of like solidify yourself in your own knowledge, which I found really good. So I know like moving forward, no matter what I do, I have the skills to tutor someone. So I want to go into private tutoring, I'm able to do that. So it really helped me like open up a bunch of different like opportunities and jobs that I didn't think I would have at first.
Brilliant. Thank you, Jay. I want to lastly go on to Love Sound. Hopefully you're there and listening in. Tell us about your own journey through from high school to, presumably you went on to study at Luton Sixth Form as well?
Yes, so I came from Lee Manor High School, and like the others, with my GCSEs, I done pretty well. And the other form, I knew I wanted to be staying in STEM-related subjects, so I took the subjects, specifically physics, maths, and chemistry, and said I want to do those because I really enjoyed them GCSEs. So I went on studying those in maths, and from A to B. So after that, I was applying for university, but I was missing a one grade. So I was stuck at that point. So I looked at the opportunities given under the jobs I could do, and got here. And I found sixth form, and it was really.
I think, Love Sound, we're having some trouble with your comms there, so we'll have to come back to you when we sorted it. But I think we got the gist there as well, and we will be coming back to you. I want to come back to Anisa and to Ali now. That I have to say, I'm pretty impressed. You've got some really high caliber young people there, and these are the young people that are the source of encouragement and knowledge and experience for your current students. How's the AIMS project gone, Ali? In terms of your assessment, because if that's the caliber of young person there, that's mentoring, encouraging, coaching current students, then that surely must have a major impact upon grades.
I think from a perspective of grades, it's been fantastic in terms of the science. I can only speak for the science grades. It's been incredible. They really have improved the grades. But I want to talk about something more than just grades it gives the young people as well. We're talking about a AIMS project which has been going on for a good 7-8 years now. And a lot of our former AIMS, I bumped into one of them recently, who's doing the training at L&D Hospital. He's a doctor. And another one's a surgeon. So in terms of the aspiration they build in the students they're working with, is fantastic, because they say, obviously young people will talk while they're working, helping them academically. They'll say, what's your plans? They'll say, well, I'm off to do medicine. Oh, really? Yeah, I'm off to do civil engineering. Where are you going? I'm going to Imperial. Oh, do you think I can get into Imperial? Why not? We've even had AIMS who've gone on to Oxford and Cambridge, and they've actually said to students we've been working with, have you ever thought of applying to Cambridge? Then they'd be like, what, me? You must be joking. They don't take working class Pakistani girls at Cambridge. And they're like, well, I'm going there, and I'm a working class Pakistani girl, so if I can get in, I'm sure you can get in. So in terms of grades, it is absolutely phenomenal effect. But in terms of also building the aspiration, because you know what it's like. I'm in my 50s. For me to lecture a young person on you can do really well, you can get yourself into a top university. The young people are very cynical. They're more cynical than us oldies. And they'd be like, yeah, it's, white beard, baldy, giving me some prep talk. But when they hear it from someone who's only 6 months come out of the same program that they're undertaking right now, it kind of leaves a footprint. And I think that's the best way I can describe the AIMS program. The AIMS program leaves a footprint that, believe it or not, when we actually put out to advertise, we don't really even have to advertise. Young kids are queuing up. Some of them even just take a gap year because they want the experience of being an AIM, which I find incredible. You know, I had a young person this year said, sir, I'm going to do really well, but I just want to be an AIM. And I said, why do you want to be an AIM? And he said, because you allow us to do presentations to parents, you allow us to make phone calls, you allow us to attend meetings with senior leadership team and put our viewpoint. And if you imagine for a young kid who just left college, having to deliver a presentation to 200 parents, it's not just a presentation, it's everything leading up to that. So when we encourage them to become AIMs, realistically, yes, we are employing them for their academic skills. But as an organization, I think it'd be really unfair of us to just expect them to just use their skills and give them nothing back. So we want to give them something back. And by developing their soft skills, their presentation skills, their communication skills, their ability to be able to attend meetings with senior leadership team, when they go for their interviews for university, I have AIMS currently in Nottingham studying medicine and in Southampton, 2 young ladies. And they said, Ali, we're so much more confident than the people on our courses because they've come straight out of education, gone straight into education, followed into university, and they're so unsure about the world and how it works. Because don't forget, as an AIM, they also have to deal with everyday problems that a student faces. So if a student's having a difficult time with his parents and he's really not engaging with his studies, they can't just turn around to that student and say, well, you know what, fix up and get on with it. So they have to learn to deal with these kind of issues as well. And, you know, obviously they refer back to me and they say, Ali, I've got this student, you know, they've just had a bereavement or they've just had a falling out with somebody. How do I cope with this? So all of these skills that you wouldn't necessarily learn, you know, I call them life skills. And that's why I believe that as a college, we have our acronym is SMILE, Student, Mutual Respect, Integrity, Learning and Excellence. And somebody recently said to me, Ali, how does that fit in with Luton? I said, it fits in perfectly with Luton because Luton is very much about giving young people the opportunities. We're very much about respecting everyone, irrespective of their religion, their background, their creed, their color. Luton is a very diverse community and a very respecting community. I think, you know, having lived up north for many years, you know, I'm an adopted Lutonian, so I'm not a real Lutonian, but like anyone who's adopted is always made to feel more welcome than the one who's always been there. I think there's a lot of integrity in Luton, and we learn from others. I mean, I've learned so much from your projects, I've learned so much from other people in the community, I've learned from different faith groups living in Luton, and you're always picking up something. And come on, it goes without saying Luton is excellent. You know, irrespective of what they report, we know Luton is excellent. So from a perspective of grades, it's been fantastic. I can't say any more than that. I've seen young people who would never have gone. I mean, we had a young man, and I hope he doesn't mind me, you know, name calling him out on the radio. But Akmal Ali, who was my first ever. It was called the Chorley Boys Project, believe it or not. It's how the AIMS project all really started. Everything good somehow starts with Chorley Boys. I don't know why that is. But yeah, and he went on to Cambridge, studied engineering, and left Cambridge with first-class honours with distinction. And that for a young man who comes, you know, went to a normal state school in Luton, did what every other young you know, Pakistani kid does in Luton. And then for him to reach those heights, and after him, and I'm sure you know, Wahid, you know, these young people have all been through sixth form and have left a footprint for others who now aspire to become great within their own discipline. So yes, the grades have been fantastic, but even more than that, I think the grades only come if a child has aspirations. If a child has real ambition, burning desire to reach the top table, and says, you know what, I don't know why I can't sit at the top table. Why is it reserved for the likes of Harrow and Eton and Westminster? Why can I not get there? And when they firmly believe that, I'm so fortunate that I actually see, it's like watching a Rocky film. Except, they don't do like 50 push-ups or anything like that, but all of a sudden they turn from an ordinary child into a holistic, formidable academic machine. It's unreal.
Ali, we're gonna hold it there because we've got to go to a break. But I love the analogy there of a Rocky movie and that sort of growth as well, that underdog spirit. Because ultimately, I think there's a wider point there you articulate about Luton anyway, and why can't a young Pakistani girl, for example, from Bury Park, from the Biscot area, go on to Cambridge, and that's the world that awaits our young people. Listeners, you're listening to the Future Show with Amar Azam. We're going to be joining you after the break, where we are going to continue this Luton Sixth Form College special. So do stick with us. Assalamu alaikum, listeners, and welcome back to the second half of the Future Show here on Inspire FM. I'm your host, Amar Azam. Before the break, we were speaking to Rafaqat Ali and Anisa Akhtar, both of whom have key roles at Luton Sixth Form College. We were also joined by three of the college's fabulous academic improvement mentors, Junaid Ahmed, Jay Patel, and Lovsanth Linkswaran. As ever, if you want to get involved in the show, you can get in contact with us at futures@inspirefm.org. Ali, you said after the break, and you made this wonderful analogy about the role of a mentor leaving a footprint on, leaving that sort of indelible mark on the young people that they're mentoring and supporting through their journey as well. And it becomes all the more impactful because aims are traditionally, 1 or 2 years older than those students as well. Tell us a little bit more about that.
I'll let Anisa talk a little bit about one of our former aims, and then I'll talk a little bit. Anisa.
Oh, so actually, during the break, it triggered a few things for me. I think it would be rude for me not to mention Javeria, who also co-hosts with you, Amma. So for those who don't know, Javeria was actually one of our first cohorts of AIMS who mentored here for a year and who has gone on to achieve great things, and she's doing really well now at Chorley Girls. And I think this then comes back to my little baby of Luton Success, and greatness is the prime example within Luton Success. So that's our alumni project, which everyone is probably sick of me talking about, but it's a great example of people like Wahid, Javeria. There's just so many people who have come out of our college who have gone on to great things, who have started off here. And I think when Ali talks about leaving a footprint, these are the best examples of it, who have started off in state schools, who have come through our education system from Luton, from humble background, who have now gone on to achieve masses of successes. So I think these are great examples that we can all learn by. And I'm guaranteeing you, Junaid, Lovsanth, and Jay are all going to be part of those cohorts of great successes that have come out of our college. You're welcome, guys.
Ali, do you want to build upon that?
Yeah, I just want to say, sometimes I think in the community, and I think it's just natural human behavior. Maybe it's a British trait, especially say with the football team. We tend to focus on the negativity more than the positivity. If I was to name shout, I think it'll take your whole 25 minutes of students who've gone on to do wonderful, amazing things. These are the unsung heroes. And that's why the project that Anisa has put together, the alumni project, is fantastic, because it gives a real voice to these unsung heroes. And when I say heroes, they really are, because me and you both know the level of poverty that exists in Luton. We know how difficult it is for a house. If you come from just a couple of miles down the road in Harpenden, your parents can probably afford to get you a private tutor. Whereas the kids in that predominantly come from the wards such as Biscot, Kingsway, Dallow, Marsh Farm, Lucy Farm, the areas that, because we're not a selective college, we don't say we'll just take the best of the best. We'll say we'll take everyone and we'll turn you into the best of the best. And the way we do that is we understand, we, as a college, I think the reason why I've stayed in this college for such a long time is its values are embedded with the values that I share, which is if you've got a young person who is exceptional, but they can't afford the tutoring, they can't afford those opportunities, we'll make it for them. We'll give them that. And that's what the aims do. Can you imagine paying £30 an hour for an A-level physics, chemistry, biology, or maths aim? Tutor, sorry. But these, we say, listen, we're going to give it to you free. But not only do we give it to you free, but I think a lot of prospective parents who are listening to this, I want you to be aware of something else. Not only do we give them academic support, but we give it to them 7 days a week. Our STEM center, so we have something called the STEM center, which is a center just for science and math students, a place they can come and study, bounce ideas off each other, because these subjects, if you sit quietly and not bounce ideas off each other, it never happened. Some of the greatest scientists discovered what they did because they bounced ideas off different people. So we're open 7 days a week. On a Saturday, we appreciate that, if you live in a household with a lot of young siblings, it's difficult to study. So as a sixth form college, we say we'll open a resource center so you can come. I remember a couple of weeks ago, I bumped into you on a Saturday and you were like, wow, where are all these kids coming from, Ali? And I was like, this might be wow to a lot of people who've never seen it, but it's the normal for sixth form. And on top of that, we do, a lot of people think that we just focus on the academic, but we'll help you prepare for your university interviews. We'll help you open up doors for work experience if we can help you in any way. So when you talk about, what do we offer? I think we offer a lot more than, and honestly, this is no criticism of any other college, but we really do offer a lot more because we appreciate that we're servants of the community. I think that's the best way to put it. We're actually servants of the community. And when you're a servant, the first thing you do is you act with humility and you bow your head down and you serve the people who are your masters. And I think our masters is the Luton community and the young people of Luton.
Ali, that's so brilliantly and passionately put, and I agree with every word. And you're right, we bumped into each other when I was driving up Badgers Hill Road a while back, and it really, really threw me off. I'd heard about the weekend provision, but I actually thought there was an event going on. You put me right. You said, no, this is what usually happens. So for the parents of year 11s that are going to be going to the college, this is a wonderful showcase of the sorts of support that is available out there. Elisa, very briefly, I have to say there was a bit of coverage in the local newspaper last week about student council. Again, a wonderful representation of the caliber of young person that is created by this wonderful college.
Yeah, so we recently shared some really, really good news for us from our student council. They took the initiative and from their own budget, of their own heads, without any push from us or SLT, went out and purchased over 2,000 hand sanitizers for their peers, really. And I think that in itself just showed how much the students actually care about one another. I think this was a huge thing for them to go out of their way to purchase it, to make the orders, to advertise, all just to keep the college community safe. And obviously we know the times we're in now, as we slowly come out of lockdown and the massive restrictions we had, as a college, we're really, really honing in on the fact that it's only going to get better if we work together. So
brilliant. And you said somebody listening in a parent, say, or a year 11 student that's going into September entry at the college, presumably there are opportunities to put themselves forward for the student council so they can be a part of initiatives such as that one?
Yes, definitely. So I think as well as student council, we have many enrichment opportunities that I think personally we don't really shout about more. So we have DOV, Duke of Edinburgh, which currently our group of young students are out somewhere near Rushmere, camping. I've got loads of pictures to share on social media next week. So we have DOV, we have student council, I know Ali and his aims are putting together brand new societies, in particular medicine society. So that's be really important for students who are interested in that career path to get involved in. We've got sports enrichment. And the thing is, Amma, we give students here the space to step forward. So if there's things that we may have missed, you know, then we will give a young person an opportunity to step forward and say, actually, I want to put something together. And I think that's really important for the young person and their parents to know that they'll always be heard, you know, their voices really do count here.
Thank you, Nisa. Let's bring in some of the mentors again. So Junaid, hopefully you're on the line. Tell us about your last sort of interaction with a student. Obviously, don't mention any names, but you know, how do you engage with them, and what sorts of things have you helped them with?
So with the students, mainly I go over physics with them. And so we've been focusing on first years quite a lot near the end, because obviously the second years, their college journey is coming to a close. So I've been focusing on the first years, and just the main thing is getting their knowledge of like the first year topics up to a high enough level so that they're comfortable enough so that when they come into their second year, they can focus more on learning the new and more difficult content. And so we've just been going over some worksheets on questions from different topics, especially since the end of year exams have been coming up. And so it's quite crucial for their predicted grades. So we've just been going through lots of practice questions, and we do it in small groups so I can like focus on the students, but also so that if they need any help, they can help each other as well, because I think that's quite a good way to learn. And that way they can bounce ideas off of each other, and it really helps them quite a bit.
It sounds like you enjoy it, Junaid.
Yeah, it is quite enjoyable. And when I find that when I'm teaching to the students, even though I never thought about it before, I'll end up just learning new things about the subject, just because they'll ask a question and then I have to think about it and I have to come up with an answer. So it'll make me think of things in ways that I wouldn't have previously.
And in terms of your own values, I suppose this is developing your own values, because you're from Chorley Boys, correct?
Yeah, I am.
And so it's I suppose you've had that 5 years of Chorley gentlemen, and Daniel Connor, the head teacher, is a friend of Inspire FM. But it's almost that continuation, almost from going into high school, going through college, and now you've still got that value system that seems very important to you.
Yeah, it is quite important. And I think one value that I've really learned in my time as being an AIM is like from seeing the students from how they were and maybe their attitude at the start compared to when they're either leaving college for the second years or getting ready to go into second year for the first years. They have really changed quite a lot. And maybe for some of them at the start, they were a bit more laid back, but then at the end, they're a lot more hardworking. So it just really goes to show that just because someone doesn't have that strong, consistent work ethic in place, it doesn't mean that they're not able to develop it. So it's just really important to be there to support the students. I think that just really sums up like what we do as the AIMS.
Brilliant. Thank you, Junaid. I'm going to next question for Lovesan. We had a few comms problems with you before the break. Hopefully they've been sorted. But tell us about your sort of an experience with maybe a student or a bunch of students, and how you found the experience of being an AIM mentor.
Well, overall, it was quite amazing. So just recently, as we got the year ones, my last experience was with actually a bunch of my students, which was they come up to me saying, "Listen, I'm really struggling right now. I need help. When are you available?" I said to them, "I'm always available Monday to Sunday even." And they said, "Yes, let's get a session started." So what we've been doing recently up to the mocks is getting their knowledge up to date and going over questions, as well as a lot of exam practice. And yeah, that's what we've been doing. And when they come out of the exam, they said they've been really, they've done well, better than expected. And yeah.
Brilliant. Thank you, Lovesan. Jay, your own reflections. Is this what you thought it would be, being an AIM mentor? And are you enjoying it?
So I had no idea what it'd be like being named going in. I know like I'd be teaching maths and like doing stuff I enjoy, but I never thought it'd be like as expansive as it was. Like I find myself doing more things than just teaching maths. Sometimes I'll be helping out students with like preparing for uni, exam stress. I can like help them how to practice. But yeah, so like, I found it quite enjoyable, especially the fact that I get to teach a subject I enjoy. So when like someone asks me a question on it, I'm like really eager to like teach them, not just about what they need to know, but about where it came from, why we do it. So yeah, I found that really enjoyable, as well as the fact that like some students, they come in and they're not doing well, so they don't like maths. They hate a subject they're not good at. It's like typically what you do, right? But like me helping them out, I've like seen them start to enjoy parts of maths they would like typically find boring per se, and that's like really enjoyable to watch the students sort of like grow, mature in like the subject they're learning.
Brilliant. Thank you, Jay. And in terms of your own, just very quickly, are you thinking about careers at the moment where you can go with this, Jay?
I'm actually looking to the sports side, like sports analysis and scouting. Math. That's why I'm going to take maths and sports science at uni. So that's like where I'm hoping to go forward in my career.
Brilliant. Thank you, Jay. Junaid, any thoughts about the next steps for you, or uni, world of work? What are you thinking at the moment?
So for myself, I didn't get into any of the universities that I applied to this time around. So I'm going to give it another shot next year. And I think I'm going to stay on as an aim for the college, because I think it's been a really good experience. And I have a lot, I probably have a lot to learn left as well, but I feel like I have a lot to give as well. So I want to stay on with the college for another year. And so, but then hopefully after that year, I'll be able to go into a degree in medicine.
Brilliant. Love Santh, your own thoughts about the next steps for yourself?
So my next step is to go to university and study civil engineering at the University of Bath, and hopefully go from there into becoming chartered engineer.
Guys, Junaid, Love Santh, and Jay, I want to wish you all the best. I'm sure listeners will agree that you've come across incredibly well. You come across such a wonderful representation of as ambassadors of Luton Sixth Form College, and I'm sure Anissa and Ali, who are on the line, would agree. And we wish you all the best as well. So, Ali, just sort of final reflections as well. Your mentors you've got there, they are absolutely incredible as well. I remember my own journey through Luton Sixth Form College, and it was, I think I've shared this in the past, that perhaps I underperformed, and I perhaps didn't benefit from the guidance that was around me as well. But you've got some really, really young, articulate young men, and of course you've got young women. You've got another, four or so female mentors as well. So, it sounds like they're here to stay. Mentors are here to stay.
As long as I'm here, it's definitely going to stay. I have no plans on ever letting it go. And in terms of, I think what you just said about your journey at sixth form, I think that's what spurs me on to make sure it never happens again. I mean, when I think back on the pool of talent that this community has lost, because the organization didn't put in place all of this support. And I think it's just evolution, isn't it? At that time, nobody thinks about it. But now, when I see the young people and it's easy, like I said, to focus on the negativity of Luton. But for every one negative young person look at, I can guarantee you there's 100 positive role models out there who are doing amazing things. And the best thing about it, they're all from Luton. No matter what happens, no matter where they go, no matter what discoveries they make, no matter, I always joke with some of my med students that one day one of you are going to write my death certificate. But I say to them, and they'll probably get paid for it as well. But what I say to them is, no matter where you go, remember one thing: you're part and parcel of SC001. It's a joke we have amongst the STEM students. That's like you're part of Luton Sixth Form College, and more fundamentally, you're part of Luton. Sometimes when students go to uni and the friends say to them, "Where are you from?" and they say Luton, they say, "Ali, we get this kind of look in our direction, like, are you serious? You mean you survived the ghetto that's Luton?" And then when they get to know them, they're like, wow, you know, some of our students finish top of the university classes. So at the end of the day, I think the thing that makes me the proudest, not only in terms of the aim, but the students that come from this college, is whatever you do, you'll always be part of Luton.
Brilliant, Ali. We're coming to the end of the show. So for the listeners listening in, how would someone become involved in the college as an AIM mentor, or just generally, you know, other ways that a young person listening in can help support the work of the college?
You know, the beautiful thing about AIMS is we're not just exclusive to students from Luton Sixth Form College. So if you're a young person that's gone to another sixth form college and have done exceptionally well, apply. You know, we're giving every young person in Luton an opportunity to embrace this program. And in terms of any year 11s who are looking to come here and looking to study science and maths, honestly, you work with us and, you know, the world really is your oyster. You can achieve whatever you want. And this isn't something that, you know, it's not lip service, because we will sacrifice blood, sweat, tears to make it happen for you. And at the end of the day, we want nothing from you apart from a simple thank you on your last day, and then go and live your life. Go and live your life and embrace everything that life has to give you. Because you know what? It's about time young people from Luton sat at the big table, at the table where all the decisions are made, and started to articulate some of their life experiences, so that wonderful things such as, you know, I'm a Manchester United fan, so I'm going to shout him no matter what. Wonderful things that people like Marcus Rashford are doing. You know, we can have young people from Luton sitting at the top table, listening to people like Marcus Rashford and say, you know what, I come from such a background and I'm going to listen to you, and I'm going to, you know what, we're going to make a positive change.
Brilliant. Anissa, Luton Success got a mention there, and I suppose just following on from what Ali said there about how people from Luton, we've got that, I suppose, that underdog spirit. We want to make sure that nobody messes with our Luton, and Luton Success is very much part of that. So let's do some name dropping here. So Sufyan, who's no doubt going to be listening, a friend of the show, friend of the station. He's in fact a former student, or a student and a teacher and a leader at the college. We've got Abid as well, Abid Khan, Rachel Hopkins, local MP and governor also on the governing body. You know, these are wonderful representations of people from Luton and the Luton Success Project.
Can I just quickly jump in there? I mean, look at the wonderful things that Sufyan Sadiq is doing now. No, you know, the guy's practically going to be writing education policies soon if we're not careful, and it'll be a wonderful thing. I mean, Abid Khan, I mean, I've known Abid since he was 17, and the journey, if young people were to know of his journey, it is inspirational. You just have to listen to the guy and his journey in life. It's truly inspirational. Rachel Hopkins, I mean, the woman bats for Luton. You know, she's like an opening batsman who never moves from the crease. She'll bat for Luton all day long. So these are wonderful examples, and like you said, there's many others. There's many others who I really think you should give your program to all of them one day, just because of the wonderful things they're doing to enhance the futures of not only young people, but every single sphere of the community in Luton.
Lisa, your thoughts on Luton Success? And you've got three young men, and you've got 8 mentors in total, a couple of female mentors as well, prospective Luton Success alumni of the future.
Absolutely, Emma. And I think we missed you out of there, but you're also one of our Luton Successes who also contributed to our campaign. And I think, yeah, I can see you laughing there, but it's true. And I think, you know, we name dropped some people there, but I could sit here for another half an hour and name drop all of the videos I've been given. I mean, Emma, we've got barristers, we've got judges, we've got a whole range of people who've gone on to achieve massive things. And I think, like you said yourself, these 8 mentors that Ali's got, both women and young guys, that they're going to be our Luton successes. I will be reaching out to them in the next few years once they're, you know, in their career paths. And that's why I'm so passionate about Luton success, because when you hear of stories of people who I know personally, like yourself, Abid, Sufyan, when I hear about their stories, and I think, if I'm hearing it and I'm getting inspired, then a year 11 student listening to it is going to think, whoa, that's the guy who taught me at Chorney Boys. That's the guy who lives down the road from me. And this is why it's so important, because we're just normal people. It's just normal people doing great things. So yeah, I think that's really important. But I think as we draw to an end, I really want to also mention here, I think, Ali, I've tried to get Rafika Ali on this show for such a long time. And he's one of our unsung heroes. I mean, he spoke about it a lot, but he's so humble. And I think everyone listening now will also say that he is so humble, but he does so much for this college, Emma. 7 days a week, find me a teacher, a student services, anyone, find me someone in the community who works 7 days a week like him. So I think just a minute here for Ali and for all he does for this college, because it would not be the college it is without him.
No, that's absolutely brilliant and and spot on. You know, I've worked at the college, with the college, for a good few years, and Ali has been at the center of everything. So, you know,
front and center with everything. That's a good thing and a bad thing.
I just want to give one big shout out, if I can. Yeah.
We've only got 30 seconds, Ali. Only got 30 seconds.
I'll make it 15 seconds. I want to shout out every single member of staff at Luton Sixth Form College. Yeah, you guys are amazing, and as colleagues, I couldn't have picked better colleagues to work with. And the SLT team at Luton Sixth Form College, I'm so blessed that you buy into the values that we want to share with the Luton community.
Listeners, you've been listening to the Future Show here on Inspire FM. The Road to Greatness, a Luton Sixth Form College special. What you've been hearing, it's totally blown my mind. I want to thank Junaid, Jay, and Love Santh. Also, I want to thank Rafkat Ali and Anisa Akhtar. Hopefully we're going to follow this up in the future as well. It's been absolutely wonderful. So until next time, listeners, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.